All right. Hello. Welcome to episode 3 of the Hey Steph podcast. I'm Justin. This is Steph, if you couldn't tell. Hey Steph.
Hey, Justin.
Tonight we're going to talk about giving back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have a special guest.
Having special guests.
Right? Nicole Villers from the DC Villers Foundation of Hope is going to be here in a little while. She'll be sneaking in at some point. I think I see her lights in her car right now. Or you left your lights on.
No, I did. Well, that was a while ago, so no, I hope not.
Yeah. So I didn't do a printout sheet today. I feel that confident about this topic that I think we can get through it really nicely.
Because normally you are the prepared one.
Yeah.
Fly by the seat of my pants, and you're like, listen, there's an agenda.
But
and
only
there's
for this one. Everything else, you put the agendas together.
What, like in life?
Like everything else that we do, you pretty much put it together.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Somebody's got to be in charge.
Yeah, no, yeah. But for this one, I don't know why. I get like nervous and stuffy, and it's like...
It's weird. It's a very different energy than normal. Like normally I'm used to your free flow and... Yeah.
But tonight I feel good about it. Yeah.
Good, because it is good. It's a good topic. Yeah.
And just so everybody in the YouTube and Spotify realm knows, since we are bringing in a special guest, we do earn stars on Facebook when we're live. We're live right now during our podcast. And all those stars, we are going to match up to $500 each. Stephanie just decided that she's going to help with that as well. So all the stars that are donated, which we are up to $7.50, which is, I mean, that's good. That's better than nothing.
No, I know. Right? I just like the 50 cents.
Well, I want to make sure that we're accurate. All the stars that do come in, we are going to match that.
Yep.
And give it to the Foundation of Hope. You're going to love to hear Nicole's
I know.
story.
I was almost going to ask if you were going to, but it makes more sense that she
I would
explains.
love for her to just come and talk.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
And she's great. She'll know this.
Yeah, you'll probably screw it up anyway.
Yeah, I will mess it up. I will. But anyways, let's talk about giving back. A couple of things I was thinking about when I was trying to like put together the ideas for this was just like one of the things is like different ways to give back. Because there's a lot of different ways you can do it. And things are starting to shift. You're seeing a different shift in people's availability and the money that they're willing to put forward and the time they're willing to put forward. So I think like obviously one way to give is monetarily. That's obvious.
Right.
You can give, money, and that's very helpful, and everybody needs that, and it's great. There's plenty of different ways you can do it. You can do GoFundMes. You can do all kinds of different stuff. But what I'm starting to see, and I think you probably are starting to see this as well, but we're starting to lose the
manpower, the volunteer.
Volunteers.
It is,
and that's one of the biggest things.
It is, and it's hard because, like you said, money is great and it's appreciated. But I think, if you don't have the people, you can't do the things.
Right. There's no events you can run.
And I think too, what I've learned is it doesn't have to be, I think somewhere over the years, it became like you got to volunteer the whole day. You don't. An hour here, half an hour there, anything you can do. It helps because there's always something small or big and it contributes to the big picture. So I think that's something to keep in mind, that even if you only have 30 minutes can make a huge difference and help out. Again, the money is helpful, but you can have the money, but where does it go if you don't have the people?
Well, that's the thing. Like, even if you're in a scenario where you don't have the money, right? That you still want to give back. You can definitely do that with time. Time is almost worth as much, or if not
and
more.
And I think one thing, because when we put events together, I think one thing that I like to, aside from telling people like 30 minutes is just as valuable as 3 hours. There's also things before and after the event. There's cleanup, there's prep, there's, even something as simple as labeling envelopes and sending them out. Like, that matters. That helps.
Yeah.
So it's not just the day of. It's not just being there to make sure the day goes smoothly. It's all the prep.
What do you think are some of the reasons that people don't volunteer anymore? It's because it pays terrible?
It's awful, actually. But I think, no, actually, the pay is the best, is because,
like free food and stuff.
Well, I was going to say you feel good about yourself because
that's my favorite part about volunteering and stuff.
But I think that's something that I would like. I feel like for me, and I I give back because I want to. I don't want to give. I don't expect anything in return. And I think that's a huge, great thing about our volunteers that we've had over the years is they just want to help. And I think one reason for the shift is people are busy. And I get that. Like, we have kids, life gets crazy. But like, for me, I think I want to show my kids that you should volunteer and you should give back and not expect anything in return. Because right now, too, like my 10-year-old, well, he's almost 10, but he's always like, "You gonna pay me for that?" No, you should just do it, because sometimes doing the right thing is the right thing to do.
We don't all talk like that.
Like what?
All men don't talk like that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you just did.
For an example.
In the
My
cartoon
mom does the same thing. She's like, "Well, you said do." That's not how I talk. I don't like.
If everybody around you is saying that that's how you talk, then what's the common denominator?
Like that.
Don't say that. What's the from Dracula? What? Not Dracula.
I don't know.
Transylvania, the cartoon, Adam Sandler.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll watch it. I'll find it.
I think you're right. People don't have as much time, but I think that maybe part of it is that they don't think a half hour is enough. Like,
I think it's a combination. I think they're busy. As our kids get older, they get involved in things, and you're taking them here, you're running them there, you're all over the place. And then you do just want to go home and veg.
I get it. I get that.
But again, half hour.
Yeah. I don't know how it was for you, but when I was a kid, my family was heavily involved
back in the day,
Kiwanis and things like that. And I
oh my god,
stuff. Like, I volunteered for everything.
I
got voluntold for everything.
Yes. I actually found, so the job I have now, one of the arms that I'm responsible for, I found my dad had a lanyard because he volunteered for them all the time. And so I found that, and I was like, yeah, like he did, they did. Like my mom and my grandparents too. I remember sitting with my cousin at my grandma's funeral a couple years ago, and we were looking at, they list everything that they've done.
Yeah.
And seriously, the whole page was just volunteer stuff.
Yeah.
And my cousin pointed out, she's like, she was retired. She had more time to do that. But I was like, gosh, like if I could do half that stuff, I would feel, I mean, not to sound cheesy, but you change the world.
Well, you do in your little way. And one of the things you touched on that I think is one of the most important things, and maybe people don't know this because they haven't done it or they're not ready to branch out and do that yet, but the good feels you get. That's my favorite part about like volunteering and doing stuff is just like you go home and you didn't want to go, like just like going to the gym, right? Like you don't want to go, but when you're done with it.
I don't go.
You don't know anything about me.
Yeah.
But when you're done with it, you're glad that you went there and you feel like you helped and you did something.
I have heard that's a thing.
Thank yous and those good feels you can't beat it.
There's an episode of Friends, and I know you're not friends, but there's an episode where they talk about this, where Joey says to Phoebe, "There's no selfless good deed." And so she goes around trying to find something, and it turns out she hates PBS, and Joey's on a telethon, and he thinks he's hosting, but he's just answering calls.
Okay.
But because of the donation she makes, he gets on TV. And so she's talking to him, and she's like, I hate PBS, and here I am donating, I hate that, I hate this. And then he gets on TV, and she's like, oh, and she's like, oh, but like, it is, you guys, like, that feel good. And then I feel like for me too, like, it spurs me to want to do more. You know what I mean? Like, I want to change the world. I do. I want to, like,
you are. You're listening to my dad jokes.
You can't see me on the podcast, but the eyes definitely rolled.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it, but I guess
I hope you enjoyed the eye roll.
You could hear the eye roll on Spotify.
I feel like you could. I think I need to make a sound for like one of those
Don't hit that
sorry.
link.
What's the slider things? Those slider. Yeah, I need that from the eye roll.
Yeah.
Maybe kazoo.
Or like a womp womp. Yeah, I'll talk to our sponsor. But it's getting expensive, and I already broke one of the mics.
You did, not me.
I broke Steph's mic last week.
I think I'm going to wear it as a necklace.
That would be a bad ass necklace.
I still feel like I could.
Yeah, you could. I would be dazzling up a little bit, though, yeah.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, I would.
Me too.
That's what I would do.
Do that for me. That would make me feel good.
I'm not saying I'm going to do it for you. No, I didn't.
About himself in life.
That was voluntold.
Potato.
Yeah, I don't think so. Hey, just so you know, we are up to $10 each that we have to donate. So now we're at $30 for the DC Village Foundation of Hope.
See, and simple. I mean, and that's a simple way. I mean, I realize that's monetary, and not saying everybody has to give money or stars, but just that simple, like literally, it's passive money. It's passive because we didn't have to do anything really. We just stood here and I rolled my eyes, and he told some stupid jokes.
I don't think that was stupid.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You really jumped.
Yeah, that was
really
harsh. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wow.
Some jokes.
Good. So, anyways, I'm being mean. One way you could get that is be nicer.
You volunteer, you feel good about yourself, and then you
gotta find somebody that brings you back down.
It's called balance. It's called balance.
Yeah, exactly.
So true.
So monetarily, time. Is there other ways that people can give back? Not necessarily picking a charity, but what can we do to, like, I don't know, on a day-to-day basis, give back to the people around us?
My favorite thing to do, just, you're gonna laugh at me.
Look at unicorns in a book or something.
No, although that makes people happy. I'm just saying. I just sometimes just a smile, like, and you're gonna say smiling's my favorite, and you know what? It is. It's my favorite. I like to smile because
I'm not gonna say it like that either. So you did it again.
Sorry. Maybe that's how I hear you. Maybe you don't hear your voice right.
Maybe I feel like mine sounds sort of Kermit the Frog way. Yeah, thanks for being on the podcast, and there's a lot of fun.
You can't imitate that. That's all you.
Fair enough.
But something as simple, even smiling at somebody, because guess what? Somebody else could be having a really crappy day, and your smile could make them feel like, oh, maybe life doesn't suck so much. Like, or one time I was in church, and the little girl behind me, she was probably like 7 or 8, and she had such a beautiful voice. And I turned, when we were leaving, I said, you have a great voice. And the smile she got was like, and it's not, one day when she's famous, whoever you are, if you remember this. But
if you're 7, though,
well, that was probably like 5, 6 years ago.
You're probably old enough to have the internet. But if it was 7,
true, no,
sign off the internet because you don't have permission.
Yes, and come back on when you're famous and find me.
Yeah.
But something as simple as, or like, you know what I find too, like, I think sometimes we hold in compliments because I'll be honest, it's hard. Like when people, I can't take a compliment to save my life.
Yeah. I know.
It's easier to deflect because you're like, yeah, whatever. It's just not a thing.
That's why I just make fun of you all the time. It's way easier.
I know. I relate to that. I that's why I make fun of you.
Yeah, I feel. I'm
you don't like that?
I'm kind of the same way. No, I'm fine.
Oh,
with
okay.
It. Yeah.
Because it ain't changing now.
I'm kind of the same way though. Like if somebody says, like, people will come up and say, "Oh, I love your dad jokes," and I don't know what to say. Like, "Oh, thanks."
Thanks.
Just dumb dad jokes on the internet. Like,
I know.
But people will say, like, "Hey, this made my day today." And it's so great. Right?
We should go on tour. And I'm like, and do what?
And
like stand there
and talk.
But I think the like that with the little girl, or like sometimes at work, the ladies I work with, somebody will be wearing I wear black and white, which I'm wearing black and white right now. Literally, Becca always tells me my closet looks like I'm going to a funeral.
Oh, sure.
But it's good to be prepared. I love when people wear bright colors, or, if a color looks really good on them. Something as simple as being, saying, I love that color on you.
Yeah.
It changes their whole demeanor. And, like, I think, too, like, okay, well, I'll say it to you one day when I like a color that you're wearing.
In 6th grade.
That's 7th. You're wrong. 7th.
Mm.
And did that change your whole...
Yeah, right? It took me forever to find another black shirt.
Apparently, I have a color.
Yeah.
But I think, or like somebody gets a haircut, or, I think it doesn't have to be, again, just like volunteering. It doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be something simple like, hey, also, that's a tricky one.
That's why I don't do that.
Yeah, because you look nice today, it kind of implies that you didn't look nice yesterday.
That too.
Yeah. Why? What were you going to say?
It's tough in this era for men.
It's valid. Very valid.
It's not easy.
I think that with my boys all the time.
It's tough. Yeah.
But also, I feel like I respond better to, what's wrong with your face?
Yeah.
Just do.
Basic's different.
Hear that? It's your insurance rates ticking upward. Those big companies need to pay for sponsorships and spokespeople somehow, but it shouldn't come out of your pocket. Turn to Justin Schmick, your independent insurance agent. He'll review your insurance needs and point you in the right direction without all those high-pressure sales tactics. And with Schmick on your team, you won't be just another tick for the big companies.
I'm Justin Schmick. Give me a call at 920-718-0163. That's 920-718-0163. Or visit schmickagency.com. Okay. All right. Oh, we're back. Thank you again to our sponsor, the Schmick Agency, for paying for all the stuff that I broke.
Well, it's fitting. I mean, you paid for it. You break it, you pay it.
I bought it, I broke it.
Yeah. You reversed the saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happened.
I know.
Okay. Anyways, we have Nicole Villers from the DC Villers Foundation of Hope. Nicole, we just want you to kind of tell us a little bit about what you guys do. Yeah. So our podcast, I told you, is about giving back.
Yep.
And so I am a big fan of your foundation. I like to make sure I get to the golf outings and do all the fun stuff. So I want to make sure we got a hold of you right away so that you can come and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Perfect.
I will tell you, like I said on our Facebook live feed, we are matching donations up to $500, Steph and I each. So we are at 1,000 stars right now, which is $10. So
okay.
We're at $30 for DC Villers. Let's see if you can convince them to give you some more.
How do you read that from here?
2020.
You don't.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
Really?
Yeah. That's how I know I look so good.
Question.
Anyways,
Nice.
Nicole, take it away.
okay, so you just kind of want me to tell you.
Yeah, tell us about your foundation, how it came about, what you guys do, what your whole mission is.
No pressure. I mean,
Don't blow this.
You would think that, like, since I'm talking about something I created, it would be fine.
it's weird because it's almost like you're talking.
Like, I feel like I'm talking.
Exposed.
Yes.
Yes. No, I get that.
Okay, so my late husband passed away in June 2021 after about a 3-year battle with esophageal cancer. He had a little bit of time there where they considered him cancer-free. He had no cancer show up in any scan, so that's what I say about. He had a little bit of a break there. When he passed away, we immediately had friends and family who wanted to help. At the time, my 2.5-year-old son and I, and how they could help. And I didn't want anything. And so we had a small group of friends that didn't really listen to me and ended up throwing a golf outing. And the way that event came together, and literally, I want to say 2, maybe 3 weeks, give or take, was mind-blowing. The generosity, whether people were golfing, volunteering, donating, items for raffle baskets or auctions, it was just amazing. So they ended up raising a very nice amount of money for my son and I. And we got so much feedback, like within the next day or so, asking if we were going to do it again. And I said that we would only do it again if we could give it back to another family. So that's kind of how the idea of the foundation started. We moved forward and we came up with the name DC Villers Foundation of Hope. So DC is Douglas Christian Villers, and then Foundation of Hope. And what I wanted to do kind of as our mission was give money back to local, younger families, kind of had a similar story to Doug and I. So kind of started small, if you will, and we decided, let's just do another golf outing. So that's what we did last summer. We had a family nominated to us, and we ended up raising, I want to say, about $40,000 for them at last year's golf outing, and that was just the golf outing. So again, we had sponsors and donations and volunteers. It just was another amazing day. And we quickly realized that we built this platform that we just had to continue to grow with. And so from there, we kind of decided, well, let's maybe introduce some other events. So this year we tried a winter event. We tried a trivia night. And when that idea was first proposed, I kind of turned my nose up at it. I was like, I'm not a big trivia person. I don't really know how this is going to go. But long story short, we raised over $8,000 at that event.
That's crazy.
We almost sold out our tables. We're a couple tables short. selling out, which actually ended up working out perfectly just with the space and everything. I don't really know how we would have gotten a handful more people in there. And so what we decided to do with that money is take some of the nominations that we had gotten from our foundation and gift them back that money. So we turned around and took that. We took 6,000 of the 8,000 and gave it right back to 3 different families. Again,
Awesome. Young
families, young children, battling a diagnosis, all kind of within the Valley area. Yeah, so to me, it's super important to keep Doug's name within the community. And by doing this, we're just continually talking about him. And to me, that's the best way we can honor him, not only for me and my son, but for the community and for other friends and family. So we're still very new. We're still kind of figuring it all out. But we are having our 3rd annual Doug Villers Memorial Golf Outing this July. So you already have a foursome.
Auto renew.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Shouldn't even ask.
It's a good time.
It's a really good time. Usually I suggest taking the day off the next day.
Next week. Well, it's some work anyway, so
That's
it's
true.
fine.
Not
He's
really.
good.
This year it's a Saturday, so it's like,
Yeah, so we're good.
Well, should just take off the whole
Yeah.
so we selected our family. Her name is Katie. She is from Greenville. She's the mother of 3 boys. I'm going to say it wrong, so I don't even want to say it, but she has colorectal cancer. I don't know why I can't say that word.
I don't know what that word is.
Colon
cancer.
you know what I'm trying to say?
Didn't you used to work in a place?
No, you told me it
the
was fake.
hospital thing?
Yeah, no, I worked in
with your fake doctors.
internal medicine.
Yeah.
It was internal.
Doug had a really attractive internal medicine doctor. It's like when he come in the room.
Internal medicine is not, it's a thing.
Okay. It's
actually-
not a yelling at Justin podcast.
Oh,
I actually do
should be.
play a doctor on TV. So
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's how
An,
informative I am.
an internist? That's what, yeah, I like that.
Nice.
So, yeah, she will be receiving all of our proceeds for the golf outing this July, hoping to bring in about the same amount we did last year, changing a few things up, just how we fundraise and donations and stuff, but overall kind of the same concept.
I love that. How do you pick family? Like, do you get applications?
So the way we decided to handle it this year is we actually announced at the trivia night that we were accepting nominations.
Oh, okay.
So we were asking people that follow us to send in nominations,
Yeah.
and then from there we kind of read their story, and then if they fit we do have a very broad category on, because it's so great. I don't want to set black and white boundaries.
Right.
So we kind of sifted through. I believe we got about 10 nominations total. And then we narrowed that down to 3. And picking between those 3 was really,
It's got to be like,
really hard. And with our board, we have a board of 7. It took us like 2 weeks. So we agree on someone, and then all of a sudden someone would send an email and be like, so I kind of thought about this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And they'd be like, okay, well then maybe we should do this family. And then again, a day or 2 would go by, and then we'd be like, oh, okay, well I thought about this, so maybe we should go back. So everyone was more than deserving, and I never wanted by any means for anyone to feel like they
Right.
weren't.
Yeah.
After meeting with Katie, her personality and her positivity was just a really great fit. She reminded me a lot of Doug in the sense of, all right, this is happening. It sucks. We're going to do what we have to do.
yeah.
And then we're going to continue on with life.
Yeah.
And that just really stood out to me. So,
Yeah. Well, I think, like you said too, I mean, like, just even in that, just meeting her and feeling that connection from her and Doug,
yes.
like, that isn't, I think this is a way, like you said, it keeps his name out there, but I think for you too, like, it keeps him close.
Yes.
Like, it just, then, physically he may be gone, but like he's all,
Yes.
and like you
Yes.
find those moments, those pieces where you're like, and then I think that helps too that, yeah, this is the right thing. This is what you
It
have
is.
to do.
And it's so funny because for those that knew Doug, he was very like cool, calm, and collective, did not really care to be the center of attention while he was going through his cancer journey. When people wanted to do stuff for us, whether that be make us dinner, ask if they could watch Ethan so we could have some time. He'd always say, nope, somebody else needs it more. Somebody else needs it more. So it's kind of ironic. I love the spotlight. I love a microphone. So like, for us, like that was always going to be me, right? So in a way, I kind of feel like he almost gave me this gift that I can keep him alive in this sense.
That's cool.
And he too kind of gets to be the behind the scenes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I think so that fits for him too.
Right.
Like, I think with the healing process, being able to turn something that's really, really crappy into something that's really, really good, especially too, like, you know what these families feel like.
Yes.
So to be able to give this to, because I'm going to guess that most of them are like, no, like, they get nominated by friends.
Yes.
They're not like, me.
Right.
And so you know that, hey, you know what? Sometimes you do need help. And sometimes getting help from somebody who's been in your shoes is a little easier.
Right.
Because
in the way we want the gift of money to go, no matter what the amount is or who the recipient is you can do whatever you want with it.
Oh, I like
There's no parameters. You don't have to turn around and pay medical bills. Go on vacation.
yeah, I
Or
like that.
if you want to pay off your car so you don't have that monthly, then do that.
Yeah, no, I
But
think that's great.
It's whatever fits your family. One of the recipients that we gave the $2,000 to, it was very gut-wrenching. She's essentially on palliative care for chemo, and she's a single mom with a 7-year-old daughter. And so she kind of immediately said, I'm just trying to make every moment count. And so it's like, oh my God.
I think that's good too, that then you make that okay. Because I think a lot of times we have, as moms, we have guilt.
Yes.
We do. We have guilt.
Yes.
I mean, maybe dads do too. I'm sorry. I'm a mom, so I'm only speaking as a mom.
I don't feel guilty.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. But I think getting essentially the okay from somebody who's been there and been like, go and do whatever you need to do with this. Like, because I feel like probably at first I'd be like, well, I should pay off medical bills and not have that. No. Like,
You can if you want to.
but that doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
I think that's so, like, that gift that you give of just, it's normalcy. It's a normalcy.
Yes.
Because when you, so otherwise too, like, I mean, I have not been, but you walk in a room and sometimes when something's going on in your life, I think you walk in a room and you feel like people are like, oh, here, like you're the elephant in the room.
It's like that almost 2 years later.
I think being able to, you giving this gift to other people who probably feel like that normalcy that you're giving them, like that's a huge gift in itself, to be like, I understand and it's okay. Like it makes it feel like it's a level playing field instead of being like, well, here I am.
And I think, again, not that we have specific age ranges, but gearing towards a younger demographic. When I was talking to, I think it was Katie, so she's 38. She was saying how when she went into chemo, she's like the youngest one there by like 20 or 30 years. And I remember Doug feeling that way. So it's like, even you already feel out of place,
Right?
Being that age and going through what you're going through. So again, like you said, just to give some of that normalcy to, okay, go out and do whatever with your kids.
Right. And the other thing too, like you touched on how you said, you guys were like, well, that Doug. It's like, no, we don't want help. Somebody else needs it.
Mm-hmm.
I think being able to see that, like, it's okay to accept help because we all need help. I think that's one thing. The pride. Sometimes our pride gets in, and then you don't want to be the elephant in the room, and you just want normal. So you think, not that you can figure it out by yourself, but I think that's a mentality.
Talked a little bit about that before. Different ways people can contribute and donate.
Yep.
And one of the things was time. And obviously monetarily you can too.
Yep.
What are some ways that people can help your foundation?
So we do have a smaller event coming up on Saturday, June 10th. We are doing a Bloody Mary and Mimosa bar at Barley and Hops. Justin helped us last year, volunteered for a couple of I don't think he drank, but I did. I drink a lot of Bloody Marys.
I did not.
Sounds.
I thought you had something in the afternoon.
I may have had to go to news in the afternoon.
Oh, well, you're
But I
kind of
need to
delicate
keep my
like
wits
that.
about me.
You're delicate like
Yeah.
that. What, you don't want... he's delicate. That's fine.
So yeah, we'll be looking for volunteers to work that day with us. Details are still being worked out, but last year I think it was like 11 to 3 or 4 or something like that.
The perfect day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap us up. Thank you so much for coming. I very
Thank
much
you so much for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Yeah.
Me.
And
If
for
you,
sharing, because honestly, like, sharing it too, like, not only does it help, but like, it shows people, like, there's stuff out there
Yeah.
that you don't even know about.
absolutely.
And you can help.
Yes. All right. So, wrapping up, finishing
Sorry.
things up. There's lots of ways that you can help and give back, right? So you can donate monetarily. You can donate your time. You can share things on Facebook that you see. If you see a DC Villers Foundation of Hope thing, even if you're not, you can't donate to it or you can't volunteer at it, you can share it out. It just takes split seconds
You
to
never
do
know where
that.
it's going to go.
So yeah.
And I was going to say, too, we are always looking for raffle baskets, live and silent auction items. So if you felt more comfortable, like physically putting a basket together and wanted to donate that way, we will not say no.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap us up. The episode 3 of Hey Steph podcast has come to an end, unfortunately.
I enjoyed this. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
I'm not so nervous anymore.
Oh, good. All right.
You.
We're out of here. See ya.